Adanna lived in a peaceful village where the river flowed like a silver snake through the land. She was known for her kindness and her gentle spirit. Every morning she fetched water and greeted the birds that sang in the tall iroko trees. Her life was simple but full of joy. She dreamed of a loving husband and a home filled with laughter. Little did she know that the river she trusted so much carried a secret waiting to unfold. One evening, Adanna met a stranger by the riverbank. He was tall, graceful, and wore clothes finer than anyone in the village. His eyes shone strangely, like water moving under sunlight. He introduced himself as Madhu, a traveler looking for a new home. Adanna felt drawn to him instantly, even though something deep inside her whispered that he was not what he seemed. Madhu visited the village often, helping the elders, fixing roofs, and joining in the evening dances. Everyone admired him. Soon he and Adanna grew close, sharing long walks and warm conversations. When he asked for her hand in marriage, Adanna agreed happily. The village celebrated their union with drums and food that lasted all night. Years passed, and their home became a place of warmth. Madhu was gentle, hardworking, and full of wisdom. He treated Adanna with great respect, and she loved him deeply. But every night, Madhu disappeared for hours. He always returned before sunrise. Adanna trusted him, but a tiny seed of worry grew each time he left. Some villagers noticed Madhu's strange habits. They whispered that he never joined river festivals and always avoided fishing days. Their whispers reached Adanna's ears, but she protected her husband fiercely. Still, she wondered, why did he always return smelling faintly of water, even on dry nights? One afternoon, while cleaning, Adanna found a wooden chest under their bed. It was locked tightly, and a cool mist slipped from its edges. She felt a chill when her fingers touched it. Curiosity tugged at her heart, but she resisted opening it. She told herself that every person deserved some secrets, yet this one felt too heavy to ignore. That night, Adanna followed Madhu silently through the forest. The moon was bright, lighting her path like a guiding hand. She hid behind a large tree as he knelt by the river. Madhu opened the chest and pulled out a long, shimmering snakeskin. The moment he slipped it on, he transformed into a massive water serpent, glowing like moonlit waves. Adanna gasped, her heart pounding. Adanna ran home, tears filling her eyes. The man she loved was the very creature her people feared. She lay awake till morning, her mind twisted with fear, sadness, and love. Was he dangerous? Had he tricked her? Or was he trying to protect her from something bigger? At sunrise, Madhu returned in human form, looking exhausted. When he saw her trembling, he understood that she had discovered his secret. He knelt before her and confessed everything. He revealed that he was Umamba, the great river serpent, cursed to walk as a man. He hid his skin to stay close to her and live a normal life, even if it was only for a while. Adanna felt torn between fear and love. Madhu had never harmed her. In fact, he loved her more than anyone ever had. But a serpent was still a serpent, and tales of Umamba were filled with danger. She looked into his eyes and saw both man and beast. For the first time, she understood what it meant to love something powerful enough to break her. The villagers grew restless as more people claimed to see a giant serpent in the river. Mothers kept their children close. Hunters sharpened their weapons. The chief called for a meeting to find the creature. Adanna knew they would soon discover the truth. Fear spread faster than fire, and soon the village was ready to fight what they didn't understand. Adanna begged Madhu to leave the village for his own safety, but he refused. He said he would never abandon her, even if it meant danger. She held his hands and begged him to trust her, but she wondered, was she helping him or leading them both into disaster? Madhu's human form began to weaken. Scales appeared on his arms. His voice echoed like water in a deep well. He struggled to stay human in daylight, and sometimes his eyes flashed bright green. He warned Adanna that soon he might lose control of the serpent inside him. She feared the day she would look at him and see only the beast. Every night, the river whispered Madhu's name. Its current grew stronger, its waves louder, as if calling its lost child home. Madhu stood by the river for hours, torn between two worlds. Adanna watched helplessly, knowing that she could not fight the river's power. She could only decide whether she would hold on to him or let the river claim him forever. Desperate, Adanna visited Nanena, the village's wise woman. Nanena listened quietly, her face calm despite the shocking story. She spoke a hard truth. Every serpent skin carries a destiny. Burn it, and he becomes human, but he will die. Keep it, and he becomes full serpent, and the village will suffer. Adanna returned home with a heavy heart. The serpent skin felt heavier than a mountain in her hands. Burning it meant losing him. Keeping it meant risking everyone around them. She sat by the fire, staring at the flames, wishing for another path, but there was none. Villagers gathered with weapons after hearing more rumors. Hunters claimed they saw the serpent near the farmlands. Fear turned into anger. The chief ordered a search party to kill the serpent. Adanna knew there was no time left. She had to choose before they found Madhu. Madhu held Adanna close and whispered his last wish. If she truly loved him, she should burn the skin. He said he did not want to live as a monster that frightened her or harmed others. She cried, clutching him tightly. He promised that even in death, his love would remain with her, like the river that never stopped flowing. Adanna placed the serpent skin into the fire. It hissed loudly, glowing blue as though alive. Madhu fell to the ground, shaking with pain. She held him as light poured from his body like water escaping a broken pot. The flames died slowly, leaving silence behind. Madhu opened his eyes one final time. He looked human again, calm, gentle, and at peace. His serpent nature was gone forever. He whispered, "Thank you for loving me, even when I was something the world feared." Then his breath faded softly, like a quiet wind. Adanna cried until her voice disappeared. Losing him felt like losing half of her soul, but she reminded herself that she saved him from becoming the monster he feared. She buried him by the river, placing flowers on his grave. The river seemed to flow slower that day, as though mourning him too. When the villagers arrived, Adanna told them enough of the story to calm their fear. She did not mention everything. Some truths were too deep for many hearts. The villagers honored her courage. They realized that not everything strange was evil, and not everything human was harmless. Weeks later, the river's storms stopped. Fishing became plentiful again. Children played safely by the water. It was as if the river was grateful for the peace restored. Sometimes, when Adanna sat by the river, she felt a warm breeze wrap around her gently, like Madhu's arms holding her again. Children and travelers came to hear Adanna's story. She told them about love, bravery, and sacrifice. She warned them to respect the river and its spirits. Her story became one of the greatest folk tales of the land, passed from grandmother to grandchild for generations. Adanna grew old, but never remarried. She continued to teach that love sometimes demands courage. Truth requires strength, and sacrifice is the highest form of love. And on full moon nights, when the river glowed like silver glass, she smiled, knowing her beloved Madhu still watched over her from the world beneath the water.
If you enjoyed this story and want to experience more captivating Nigerian folktales, urban legends, and supernatural mysteries, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Tales from Mother Estee. Your support helps us bring more magical, thought-provoking stories to life. Join our family, tap the bell so you never miss an adventure, and share your thoughts or personal stories in the comments below. Let's keep our spirits strong together. See you in the next tale.